This is sponsored by the one and only home of all anime in Miami-Dade County, Florida, the Anime Village. Warning: this may contain spoilers, audience discretion advised. What's up, everybody? My name is Kyrok,
And this is Jess.
and we are in the Anime Realm podcast. So today, yes, today, we're gonna talk about some stuff that probably some of you would have an opinion, some of you won't. But if you have an opinion about this next question, then why are you even listening to us? That's a good question. Why? What do you hate? Come
Hate
on.
about
What do you
anime.
hate about anime?
For those of you who don't know, this it's kind of early, so we're both just waking up very recently. So we're trying to stay awake. I
Yeah,
even
we
got
are.
my iced coffee here.
Well, I got nothing. I don't drink coffee.
I drink more than I should.
That, I see
Bad.
that. I see that. Anyways, so what do you hate about anime? Go ahead.
All right. I feel like hate for me is a strong word. I'm not a person to hate things of anime overall, because then I'd also feel like I'll always hate it. I just feel like it's about how the execution of an anime is. Because I may not like one thing in an anime, maybe I don't like the plot of an anime, but I wouldn't like every plot of every anime. So I can't say that I hate something in general about anime.
That's fair. I don't know. I had something like 2 days ago, and my memory is so bad that I can't remember. So maybe next episode, if I do, I'll write it down. But hating something about anime, I don't think there's anything that I really hate. Yeah, I mean, as everybody has just said, you may not like one anime, or you may not like the way that it was, the plot, but hating anime in general, sometimes it's kind of frustrating because it has it's kind of too open and too close at the same time.
Right.
But
If there's something I don't like, now that I think about it, it's whenever the companies are like, hey, let's just make a not finished ending. And maybe tease you about a season 2 that will never come out. When is No Game No Life season 2 coming out?
right,
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting here.
Has-
No Game No Life Zero, the movie, had a small tease at the end, showing everybody after season 1, like, come on, for season 2, please.
well, sucks for you. I
Sucks.
read the manga, so I'll be able to finish it or continue with it if it's
My
still
friend
ongoing.
hates me because I got him hooked into No Game No Life, and he's like, dude, when is season 2 coming out? I'm like, it's not. He's like, what? You got me hooked on it for no reason. I'm like, welcome to my pain.
I don't know. Well, that's about it. Now, which one is your less liked anime? Like here, we're not talking about something you hate. Talking about because hating is like you despise it. It's like you should never be
Never.
born.
Out of all the anime I've watched, the one that I definitely liked the least was one called Waiting in the Summer. And I don't even remember exactly what the plot was about. So there
You
may be
had a
spoilers
idea.
out of me trying to remember. It's about this group of kids who I think want to make a movie. And then they get together, and then this girl comes out of nowhere, and she's like, hey, I'm the new girl. And then I think it's like a 12, 15 episode anime. I don't remember exactly how many episodes it has. I just felt very... I couldn't tell. Is it trying to be a romantic comedy? It felt... I don't know, I just didn't feel as complete as when I watch other animes like Nisekoi or something like that. It just felt very... mediocre.
He liked it so little that he forgot about it.
I think the only thing I remember was the plot twist at the end. Was that the girl was an alien. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
That
Why?
makes sense when you came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like I think the last 2 episodes, like the Secret Service or like the people from her home planet are after her, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna just attack you. And it's like, wait, why? I thought this was a regular romantic comedy. What? And I was just so. It wasn't an awful anime by all means, just not something I'd watch again. I mean, somebody can watch and debate it with me. I mean, I just didn't find it that fun to watch.
In my situation, I have, we can say, a list because honestly, there are so many animes out there. There's so much like variety that it's impossible for you to like everything and anything. And I'm telling you because my favorite anime is Naruto, and a lot of people hate it. Like, I don't understand. I mean, it got to be even popular, but people hate it. Um, there's one that actually comes to my mind right now. I'm not sure if that would be the less liked, but it's kind of like in out there. It's called Inuyashiki. It's
Sounds familiar.
sort of twisted. Yeah, it's like basically some people get abducted by aliens, and then basically they can kill you as if they were shooting you by saying bang. Like, so bang,
Bang, bang.
bang. Yeah, and then the guy, I don't know, he goes to a TV, like it's broadcast himself, like recording him, and then he starts da 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 da. Da. So he's killing everybody that is watching
I'm
watching
looking
him
at
on
the first
TV.
picture on Google, and it really looks confusing. That's like a guy, and then the thing behind it. I'm like, what?
Well, that's an old man that he was also abducted by the aliens, and basically the old man has the same ability, and the old man like goes to try to fight him and try to like stop him because he's just killing everybody. Like literally, he got the power and he goes to people, bang, 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 for no reason, and then at the end he ends up like turning himself like into a good person, and that's the end. Literally,
And
there's
it only had 11 episodes.
I know. I mean, it shouldn't even have gotten to 11. Come on. Like, really? No, man. Again, this is a pretty simple plot. And like, oh, you get abducted, you get the power of killing people saying bang, and somebody that went through that comes to stop you, you kill that person, and then you end up being good. That's it.
That's wow.
That's it.
And you made
So-
11 episodes. Hey, props to them. They made 11 episodes out of it. I'm a full manga.
like really?
My my comments to those people, like, wow, not even I could do that. And I try to BS my way through a lot of things.
That's one of those that I consider they're stupid bloodly. I'm sorry if stupid is all language, I know. But it's it's just dumb. I don't know what to say. Because there's no story behind it. He's not in love with anybody. He's not like nothing. There's no feeling. He just realizes that he can kill people and he's just gonna kill people.
I think another one that just came to my head that was short, and I don't know what I watched. It was called 11 Eyes, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. I was so neutral, but I'm like, okay, things are happening. It was like this group of kids, and then like at a specific hour or like of the day or something, the whole world will turn like red, and then everybody had powers all of a sudden. It's like, okay, so this is happening now. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was that would actually happen, but I just felt mostly confused. And what makes it even more confusing, it's they had an OVA at the end of the series where it was the same concept, but instead of everybody turning into like killer people, it was an ecchi. All of a sudden, everybody was like, all it was all pink, and everybody was like, "Ooh!" I'm like, what am I watching? I thought this was a different
See,
anime.
we even got sound effects here. I know, and it's weird that those actually make it to. I mean, if they were mangas, because I know that there's some animes that they were anime first, and then somebody else came up with a manga. Let's say Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop, it's history,
really?
but the anime. Yeah, I was really surprised when I figured that out. Like when I found about that, yes, Cowboy Bebop was first the anime, and then the I don't know who did the manga, but then the manga came out.
Oh, that's awesome. Though.
So, and I understand that there are animes out there that it's like, you know, when people make movies that they make the movie instead of like, you know, having a comic book or anything to come from it. But yeah, I don't know how those make it.
It's weird.
Like for real, I
And I've seen some strange seasonal animes. I think it was the last 2 years. There was one about a centaur girl. It was like a society of like
I've seen
hybrids.
those.
And I think I watched like the first 6 episodes, and then I just stopped. I'm like, I'm not even getting entertained here. I was just watching this out of curiosity, and it's so average
That's-
that I just lost interest. And then there was this one that was supposed to be very ecchi, you know. And it just again, it was just so average that I was just
I've
like,
seen.
I'm done with this. I'm not gonna keep
I think
watching.
I've seen the meme about that entire like there is a girl that basically they have horse have
Yeah.
human, or actually 80% horse because those people are usually a whole horse and the head is replaced by
Yeah.
half of a human body. So that's not half horse half human. Anyways, point is that it's weird.
He was weird, and like it had its funny moments. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it had some funny moments, but like overall, it's like it's not worth my time.
It isn't. No, I don't. No, that's just I guess for the people like I
Yeah.
like to see weird stuff and then go, beyond the point and then just make a little hentai on the background of the mind. And then just like, oh yeah, horse.
I actually thought it was when I
Maybe I
first
could
saw
have
it
a
on the
kid,
list.
right?
I'm like, is this like an official hentai they're releasing? Because it looked like something that you would see on like the hentai
Exactly,
cover.
like
If you're
come
not if
on.
you're not 18 or older, please do not ask what hentai is.
They probably know it.
Yeah,
They probably know
I
it.
know.
Anyways,
I once bought. This is a funny thing. The manga Monster, but I don't know the name. It's the one with like the snake girl
okay.
on it. Everybody knows that one.
Well, I don't think I do.
Most people know like what I'm talking. It's like a snake girl, like a girl, and they all wanna smash the guy. So it's basically it's supposed to be like a high school DxD kind of anime where it's very edgy. Never goes all the way, but
Okay.
a lot is shown. So it's obviously shrink wrapped, and they were selling it at the library where I went. And this kid, he had to be like 16,
Okay.
16 or 15. He's like, "Hey, you look old enough." I had just turned 18, or maybe I was 17. No, I had just turned 18. And then he's like, "Hey, look, I'll give you the money, and you buy it for me, please." And I'm like, "Oh, I mean, this is volume like what, 5? I mean, by this point he already knows what it is. I'm not gonna be here like hiding this shit from him. I'm just gonna go buy it for him." And I just bought it for him.
Oh wow. No man, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
Well, like,
can-
if it's a volume 5, he probably.
You can go to jail for that. You can actually go to jail for that.
Really?
Yes, you can go to jail. It is. I've run into those situations where some young kids they ask me to buy alcohol for them, and I no,
Okay, well,
no, no, and I'm literally. Anyways, going back to anime. So Inuyashiki for me as right now, these are questions that we just to make it more natural. We just bring them out either the night before or throughout the preparing process of recording. So that's why right now my less liked anime is called Inuyashiki. That's just for the people that like to see blood out of nowhere because it's just out of nowhere. And again, they shoot at you, and you know that there's a river of blood that comes right behind it. Like I don't know, you're saying hi to your grandma from the other side of the road, and then somebody shot at you on the shoulder, and then your grandma's all full of blood right now.
oh my god, how much blood you got pumping there?
But then you're still bleeding on the floor. Like I don't know. That's the type of anime that Inuyashiki is. So who is your less liked male character?
Oh man, male carrot at least. I don't. Trying to think here. I feel like if I like least like male character, it's I don't have like I don't know. Like I feel like least like for me, it's like it's a very high bar. Like I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but like my least like character is not like really that far down like the rabbit hole where I'm like I don't even want to see him in a painting. Maybe a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, but I did not like Abakio from JoJo Part 5. I get his backstory and he's a really good character. I don't hate him. I just like him less than the rest of the cast. Because I don't know, he just sometimes feels like such a major, for lack of a non-censored word, bully to Giorno. It's like, come on, man. I know you have trust issues and all of this, but come on, open up a little bit. I did like Actually, let me not keep going because it's a bit of a spoiler.
That's
I know
fine.
it's a major
we have a
spoiler.
warning here. It says that spoilers might
It's,
be.
I mean, it's
fine.
still going on, so I don't want to like ruin the experience for anybody.
Again,
And
it's
I don't
not your
want
fault if they haven't watched it. So you just keep on
And I
going.
don't want anybody to like hate on him because he's still a really awesome character. Like he does go through like a redemption of sorts, so I don't. But I just like out of the whole cast, he's like the one that I like the least. And then I don't know what I can't think of a lot of like least like male characters because by that point I could say any minor villain that just sort of exists for no reason in any anime. Look at Dragon Ball. Cyber Mercenary Tao at some point was like, "Hey, I'm here." I'm like, "Why are you here? I don't care. Leave. Boom. Get out." Or like the guy in Dragon Ball Super that fought Gohan. I guess so. Gohan looks cool, but really just sort of wasted my time. You know.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I'm like,
about Gohan.
why? Unnecessary like side super like you have minor villains and then you have these guys that are just wasteful minor villains. They're my least favorite male characters.
Right? I've been trying to think about one, but I'm not sure which one would be somebody that I like so little that it could be the less like. I don't.
Yeah, I have the same issue here. I'm like, what? I don't know.
I guess we're gonna have to put these questions like 3 weeks, so we have time to think. But I have watched a good amount of anime, and I don't think that there's a character that I like so. I mean, you find characters irritating characters that like people like him because he is irritating, so it's a contradiction. But Hidan from Naruto. I know that you haven't watched Naruto, but it's basically a guy that his head is immortal, not him.
That just sucks. Well,
So,
you can get your head cut off.
You can, yeah.
Oh no,
you-
wait, you can?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
what,
right.
You chop off his head, and his head stay alive, but the body doesn't.
Just sucks.
So he kind of weirdly just, if he wants to, he could transplant his own body, like his own head to another body, and basically just have that one immortal. A lot of people are excited because he came in Naruto at some point, killed some good people, some like people that we loved and stuff, and then he got what he deserved, and now supposedly they're bringing him back in Boruto. It was supposed to not happen, but I guess Boruto's people are just. You know what? There you go. I don't like Boruto.
Oh boy.
He's a spoiled brat.
My friend has been talking to me about Boruto.
I haven't. I'm not gonna say that is the character that I like the less in so far in the anime, but he's a spoiled brat. I don't like spoiled brats. I don't know.
My friend just keeps talking to me. He's like, because he's also seen all of Naruto and he's a very big fan. And then he was telling me, he's like, dude, like I don't like how they do this in Boruto, where he gets these. This is from what I've heard. I don't know. You can confirm this for me or not. Where he's able to do all these things that took Naruto and Sasuke like years of training. He's like, hey, look, I can do a Rasengan. Phew!
Well,
Like without a lot of merit or effort behind it.
in this situation, there's. I mean, I can't say that I would. I haven't. I'm not up to date because I
You can't
I couldn't.
stand
I
it.
couldn't. So, one of the things that they're developing ninja tools. Let's say, they have a little gauntlet or glove or whatever that you put it, and the technique is safe in it. It's like you have bullets of chakra, pretty much. Like you have a little capsule that you put on a glove, and then you can perform the technique.
Alright, I just
like
have
you save it.
slight deja vu, so.
Well, I don't know. Some people say that then we're heading in the right path.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it is.
So, it's like the Infinity Gauntlet.
So it is. It's like now you don't have to develop your chakra because if you have the technique saved, it's kind of like hey, go to Walmart,
That's
buy some
cheap, nah.
Rasengan,
That's
buy
not,
a Chidori, and then just do it.
I'm gonna say that's just not good storytelling.
You get
It's
it?
like, hey, you could work
Um,
hard for your ability, and develop as a character, but what if you bought it at Walmart for $2.55?
That's the commercial.
Rasengan for $2.55. Everybody wants it, so we made it a little bit cheaper. Yeah.
By the way, Walmart is not sponsoring anything.
Oh, yeah.
We're just mentioning any
Close
random
bro.
store.
Generic store brand here.
Yeah, just go to the corner, go buy a soda and a Rasengan. That's
Great storytelling.
you get it. I mean, they still have, and Naruto as the head of the village, the Hokage. I know it's spoiler. Shut up. But anyways, the point is that they're still trying to tell people like, hey, develop your strength because everything cannot just come out of the tools and blah 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 blah. But and don't get me wrong, it started with him having a cool Rasengan that is little as a I don't know a lime or something like that, and it disappears and reappears. That
Oh,
he
that
didn't
is-
even know that was a technique. Like he made it the first time and whatever, and then it disappeared and then just appeared and destroyed something else. So that was like a good transformation of the Rasengan, but come on, like I don't know, the storyline is just awful.
To me, that just sounds like what not like. If you want to do a storyline where it's like, okay, yeah, you have the power, just make it your own. I feel like you shouldn't do that when you've already established these things.
Yeah.
In the especially if you're making it a sequel, like you can't just be like, yeah, now you can just use it, whatever. Like it's going to upset people. It's not like Ben 10 where like it was supposed to be that kind of storyline. You have a lot of power in a watch, learn how to use it and make it your own.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go into that because Ben 10
What?
is not technically anime, but I have a lot of arguments about that.
Oh, maybe we can make another show sometime when we have more time.
Yeah.
Pretty much never. Anyways, one thing is that people that grew up with Naruto, it's like we saw him. There might be, if you haven't watched Naruto, there might be spoilers here. We saw him suffer. We saw him fail. We saw him achieve. We saw him laugh. We saw him cry. A lot of crying, especially from the beginning. But we saw him through so many phases because he was pretty much a nobody, and the nobody wanted him. Like he was the son of a Hokage, but he wasn't recognized for it because nobody. I mean, whoever watched the story knows about it. So it's like you see him struggling. You see him failing, getting beaten by strong enemies. Sometimes he wasn't the one who defeated the enemies. He had to be rescued. It's not like Goku that he saves the day
Steals the kill.
pretty much all the time. Like no, he actually failed. He succeeded. He again everything. You kind of lived through it, and then you saw him achieving his dream. But after so much stuff, people that taught him stuff, people that supported him, people that didn't support him, friends that didn't want to be with him, that didn't agree with him in doing type of stuff, friends that didn't want him to deal with some stuff. It's like you saw the whole like adventure, the whole variety of emotions or feelings or situations that you might encounter in your life or that you would like to see. And that's why I think it was really popular because again, Naruto comes, Naruto saves the day. No, that wasn't it. Naruto comes, he gets his butt kicked, and then he fails. So somebody has to take him out of the out of the moment. Somebody has to like, hey, you're gonna die. Come here.
I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people in Dragon Ball Super did not like Caulifla and Kale. Or and by that proxy, sometimes Goten and Trunks.
Kale, isn't that something that the people pick up here in the farms?
And it's because when we've seen Goku, Gohan, Trunks, their first Super Saiyan transformations, and how that feeling developed inside of them, Goku's grief after losing Krillin for the second time. Gohan's Super Saiyan 2 transformation after seeing, everybody just slowly getting their butts kicked, and his father sacrificing himself, and especially 16 dying.
I know.
That one's
Yeah,
the real trigger here.
He cried for an android. Didn't even grow up with him, but after his dad, ooh.
Trunks losing his future Gohan, and then I don't remember Vegeta
Well, he
getting
was
his pride crushed.
yeah, it's basically
but
out
it's
of,
still a good emotional drive
exactly
for his
like out of
character.
suffering and try to surpass yourself because you feel that you're not there yet.
And even Kaba at with the Universe 6 or Universe
Yeah.
7,
The
the
same.
thought of losing his whole planet. And then here comes Caulifla, and tingly feeling in my back.
Right?
I guess, I guess I do see what Toriyama's trying to do. With like I guess you could say like the key concentration, and that is like sort of the spot where like the energy would be left. Oh god, I hate the mic. But that's why a lot of people didn't like it because it's like, oh, here comes Miss Mary Sue, Miss Prodigy over here. Look at me, I'm a Super Saiyan now.
Because even her
Quote unquote
let's not say girlfriend.
sister in quotation marks.
Yeah,
Even
sister.
Kale had an emotional burst of
Exactly,
jealousy.
exactly. She
And
wanted it. Yeah.
It's an
She wanted to be the one to be there
Yeah.
for her sissy. And
And it's an emotion. And then recently we got Broly, who was devastated at seeing his father die, even though it's a bit of an abusive relationship. But you know, he was like, he saw his father die, and then he went Super Saiyan, like really good and sort of an interesting parallel to Goku when Frieza killed Krillin.
exactly, it's like every single one of them is out of real anger, not out of fun.
And there's Caulifla.
Yeah.
And then you have Kefla, which is their fusion. It's like,
Well, I mean, they were already transformed by that.
well,
It's
yeah,
same
at
as
that point,
Vegeta
I
and
know.
Gogeta. Bro, I'm so dying to see Gogeta. I don't know. They didn't come in Super Saiyan. Sorry, Dragon Ball Super.
well, they came out in the movie. You
Uh,
had base
you know,
Gogeta, Super Saiyan Gogeta, and Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta.
Yeah.
Awesome to see. I'm still more of a Vegito fan, but you know.
No, I'm more like Gogeta because for some reason they explained that Gogeta is more controlled by Goku and then Vegeta is more controlled by Vegeta. I mean the names obviously.
But here's the thing. I could argue it's the opposite. Vegito is much more cocky and a lot more.
So who's cocky, Vegeta or Goku?
No, but in a playful way. Think about it. Goku lets his enemies get
Because
around.
he's proud to be the most powerful.
That's
it's,
usually
it's pure pride. It's
Yeah.
like, and then Gogeta, it's
But-
like
But Goku doesn't get the job done a lot of the time. Remember in the Resurrection F arc, he literally almost let Frieza just.
because he fights for fun, and that's
Yeah.
what you see on Gogeta reflecting. Like, hey, I'm so powerful, but let's just have some fun. And then he gets his ass kicked. So Vegito is like, I'm gonna crush you because I am the thing.
But Vegeta's the one that plays too much. He has not. Okay, he let himself get absorbed by Buhan, and then again we start with Zamasu. He literally lost no timer because he was playing around too much. He could have finished. He's like, yeah. Oh, whoops. But
Well, I
Vegeta
mean,
got the job done. I'll give him that.
Uh,
He was like, sorry, Broly, you gotta go. Kamehameha. A little
But
bit upset, a little bit psychopathical there, Gogeta, but you know.
I know that that's something I think that they're doing for with Dragon Ball Super. It's like the very first time that I saw a Kamehameha be so bloody. It's like when Goku fought Kefla.
Yeah.
They were fused, right? It's like the Kamehameha was always like a way technique and stuff, but this one he actually accumulated the power and then just came like that was so
And
amazing.
rode the blast. That was so. I think the
Like-
coolest moment in all of Dragon Ball Super just him riding a key blast with
That
the
is-
Kamehameha charging.
Right?
And just.
That was
How'd you
super
go?
exciting. I mean, so far to me, Super has been the best Dragon Ball series.
Oh really?
To me, it is because they included so much stuff. The battle scenes are like more. It's not disappearing, going here, going there, and just that only few people can see it. Like no, they are actually battling. They are, when Roshi died, bro. They included emotions. They included few of
I'll
background
tell you
stories
this.
that
I
were
think
like.
you just
were
mean
they-
the Tournament of Power.
no,
I
because
like you can say. Okay, no, I love. Trust me, I love Super almost as much as I love Z. I wouldn't say that I love it more, but I love it just as much. I didn't like how they did the Battle of Gods arc or the Resurrection F arc, and I do think the Universal arc was great. The Future Trunks arc could have had a little bit of work put into it. I don't like how they basically demeaned Trunks' efforts to save his world by having Zamasu turn into the world. I think that was
well, the thing
pretty
is that
stupid. Like,
that is basic. It's based on what if you found this type of problem. Because one thing is that they always find an enemy that they can fight,
right, I know.
and and that arc is basically we can't. We gotta get some help.
But I feel like it shouldn't have been with Future Trunks because he's worked so hard. At the end of the day, he lost. At that point, he just lost everything. He lost his mother, and he literally lost his universe, his timeline. Boom, erased. Everything he worked for from Z to now, gone, with a snap of a finger, basically.
I get it, but it might happen. It's not like again, wasn't a happy. It was kind of a happy ending. Actually, it was
I
a
mean, I
happy
guess he
ending
got the
'cause
girl,
they
but
got
still.
no, not that. I mean, Wiz was able to find that.
No, no, his
Yeah.
universe was still no. Future Trunks went on his time machine to another timeline.
Mm,
His universe never got restored because Whis wasn't there when it happened.
okay, then I guess I have to rewatch it because to me, Wiz kind of restored
That
part of
wasn't
it, but some stuff was lost. Like
No,
he couldn't
that-
just restore it.
That was in Resurrection
time.
F because you can only rewind 3 minutes, and since Whis wasn't there the moment that everything was erased,
Wasn't it 30 seconds?
no, it was like 3 minutes. And they were there, and the only people that were there was Zeno, and he destroyed everything. He couldn't reverse it.
Well, that's something that we gotta watch then.
Yeah, you gotta
I gotta
Because
rewatch
I remember
it.
that I was upset about the fact that all of his works to keep his universe safe was just basically gone out the window. I liked everything else. I liked the sort of hope that he had, Vegeta versus Murasamasu, but it's just that final moment that's like, come on, man, like he's already suffered enough. Don't make him go
Well,
through more.
in all fairness, it's better that all of that was lost because that timeline was messing up everybody. Like, Androids messed it up, and then Zamasu came out, and like he had to come back to the story twice. Like he had to come back to the story because that timeline was messing up.
I think Trunks should just get a new job.
Right?
Trunks.
Right?
Let's hope Kid Trunks ends up better.
just go with the Red Patrol. How is it that they call
The
it?
Time Patroller,
No. The like
the
where
Galactic Patrol.
mine was from. Remember that there were three that they were from the double R thingy, like the red.
The Red Ribbon Army.
There you go.
I think it's funny because in the Xenoverse timeline, Future Trunks goes into this thing called the Time Patrollers, and he's just as much as of a screw up sometimes. He literally, I'll never forget this when I was playing Xenoverse. He's like, "Alright, guys, be careful with Captain Guinea's body change control." Literally 10 minutes after, like 2 battles after. "Oh, guys, Captain Guinea stole my body! How did you let it happen, Trunks? You know about the technique! You knew this could happen! What is wrong with you?"
It's weird. Anyways, but also like in the fight with Beerus, there were like few scenes that you were like, come on, man, and I don't know. It has been included. There has been so much included in Dragon Ball Super, the whole
Oh, no,
series that
definitely.
it had that it wasn't like the typical Dragon Ball. It was the typical Dragon Ball plus adding some stuff. So I consider
Oh,
the
no.
still series is good.
Oh no, I still love it. I just have that little nitpick with the Future Trunks art, but I love everything else about the Dragon Ball Super. I know a lot of people have problems with it, but I honestly love it, and I think the Tournament of Power was great. The Broly movie, you can't deny it. It's part of the Super canon now. So it's part of it. It's what makes it even better. It made Broly canon. Deal with it. And now we have the manga going over this brand new Moro arc. And it is so far I've been reading it and it's sublime. It's so good. I actually like it. This man he means business. He's here and he's like, nah, I'll mess with all of you. You're all screwed. And I love this part of the manga. He detected Goku's instant transmission. Like Goku was trying to track his ki, right? And then when he found him, Moro looks back at him, like saying, "Hey, I know you're looking for me." And even Goku's like, he knows I'm looking for him. It's really cool. He's like Babidi. He's like magic caster, but he fights. Unlike Babidi, who was just sort of in the sideline, this man fights and he will mess you up. It's awesome.
Nice.
If you actually have the time to like look for it and read it, it's so good. I think it's really good so far.
Nice.
I'm just hoping they don't mess it up at the end. Toyotaro, please.
What do you mean Toyotaro?
Toyotaro is the one who writes the manga. With
Okay.
Toriyama's
Design,
influence,
okay.
but
Okay.
Toyotaro is the one who mostly writes the manga.
For Super?
Yeah.
So Toriyama's not the one doing it.
Toriyama has made the anime, but Toyotaro is the one who makes the manga.
Okay.
Which has made a couple people. It's good and bad, because in the manga you have scenes like Goku using the Hakai against Murasamasu,
okay.
and Master Roshi fighting against Jiren, toe to toe,
okay.
and Kale beating the living butts out of 37 contestants in her berserker form, just out, but then she gets knocked out by 5 people, and then she's saved by fusing into Kefla, and Kefla fights Gohan, and Gohan wins. One of the cooler, I'll give them that was really cool. But I think they skipped some other stuff, and overall, there was a lot of mixed feeling with that one. I thought it was okay.
No,
It
it's
was
fine.
really
And actually, that story is interesting. Like, because when we're talking the last episode, Gohan has power. let him,
use it.
yeah, like let him show it.
Yeah. And
So it's basically one of the things. Anyways, we're not gonna keep talking about Gohan because we talk about like a lot
yeah.
about him last. But in the Dragon Ball Z, actually in the Dragon Ball series, you know that he was supposed to be the last Saiyan. Like
Oh.
Goku in the anime didn't, but in the manga, Goku died with Freezer, and Gohan goes back to Earth being the last Saiyan existent.
Oh, that's
That was supposed to be the story, but I guess the fight got so good that they had to alter the anime. And then
it's always like the poor Toriyama is always like, okay, I'm gonna end it here. No, we want more. Okay, can I end it here? No, more.
no,
But now,
Toriyama,
no.
we
15
have
years
to
later,
finish
no. You gotta keep going, man.
we have to drink you, we have to smoke you, whatever, but we still need you.
Yeah.
That's poor thing.
I think it's fine. I think there's very few. I think the only okay, I don't know how much like the One Piece creator or like the Naruto creator. No, I know the Naruto creator is sort of like not really into it now.
No,
But I
he
know the
just
one
provided
for-
the designs, like the rights of the design, but he stayed with like the rights of owning that his,
Right.
the Naruto story is, because it's Boruto, Naruto's next generation. So his name kind of has to be there because hey, I'm the one that gave you the entrance for this. But he said like, no man, I got a
I'm not doing another
daughter.
one.
I got a daughter. I got a family to take care of. Bye.
I think the only person that has consistently stayed because they want to stay is the creator of JoJo, Hirohiko Araki.
Okay.
Because he keeps going, and I don't know. At least I don't get this. I haven't read much into it, but like, I don't get this feeling from him where he's like, he's doing it because someone's making him. You read JoJo and you're like, this does not look like some editorial like messing up. I'm pretty sure they're trying to stop him from doing some of the weirder stuff. Like, it's a very capable joke. Part 3. Oh, yeah, my powers of fire. Part 8. Yes, but you see, I can change the balance of electrons in the air to make the air around it heat up. What? Like, you have a lot of like these things where it's like he's having fun, and in an interview, someone is like, "You do know, like the way that these characters talk, it's not really how most people talk." He's like, "What do you mean? That's how I talk."
Oh wow.
So it's fun. It's like he's having fun and he's doing it because he wants to. He's still writing part 8 as I'm speaking. He's probably like in his house, just like writing it all. And he said that there's gonna be a part 9.
Nice.
So I'm just here like, and this man is a vampire. If you look at a picture, I'm going to show you a picture of him right now. This man does not look like he's 50. He literally looks like he's a vampire. That's like a joke. Everyone's like, no, Hirohiko Araki is a vampire. And he's like, just look at that man.
I mean,
You guys can look at pictures of him too. Like, he looks young,
It is. It does. It does.
and he's supposed to be 59. He does not look 59. He knows immortality.
Variation. Anyways, that reminds me of an anime called Bakuman or Bakuman, Bakuman. That's the name. There's a character that is like that called Nizuma Eiji. That he just draws for fun. Like he was poor, and the only one thing, he didn't have money for video games growing up. He didn't have money for anything. The only thing he could afford was manga. And then basically he spent his whole childhood reading manga. He didn't go out to play sometimes because a lot of kids, had bikes and stuff, where they would make fun of him because he was poor. So manga was kind of like his life. And obviously he becomes like crazy good on it, like so overpowered in creating manga. So that's who he reminds me of. The guy from One Piece, he wants to get up to the 1,000 issues at least.
Oh my god, okay, now this guy's committed.
He is. And don't get me wrong, One Piece has been, if I'm not mistaken, is the best anime and manga of all times, because every time that based on Japan's surveys, obviously, because every time that the One Piece will come out, it's either in the third place, the 3 first places. Mostly in the first place, but top 3 places.
You can tell in Japan, like because I know Gohan was Japan's favorite character for like a long time. You can tell when there's a difference between the rest of the world and Japan. I think with the recent, I'm gonna deviate real quick to game. In the recent Smash Ultimate DLC character reveals, they revealed 2 characters, Banjo and Kazooie, and the heroes from Dragon Quest.
Banjo.
And every American audience is like, yeah, Banjo. Every Japanese audience, yeah, the hero from Dragon Quest. And everybody else is like, who's the hero from Dragon Quest? Even though it's the third it's the third top grossing JRPG of all time. No one knew, like, a lot of American audiences did not care about the hero being in,
Okay.
but we did care about Banjo and Kazooie because it's an American thing. We're more adapted to Banjo and Kazooie, but in Japan, they're like, yeah, our anime-like characters, yeah, let's go.
Oh.
Which we all joke about them being just the closest thing we'll ever get to Dragon Ball characters, because Dragon Quest designs are made by Toriyama. So one of them looks like 117 with a sword. The other one looks like sort of like, he has like spiky hair, sort of like, I wouldn't say exactly like Goku, but he has like that Dragon Ball spiky hair where he's like,
I'm gonna have to look for the specifications to see if I can play that. I don't think I like RPGs, like MMOs, so I suck at them. But I don't know, what's the name of it again?
Dragon Quest. I think Dragon Quest 11's coming out soon.
Ooh, it's probably just a lot of. I don't have.
Slime.
Probably I don't have the money to get a computer that will run it.
Yeah, something like
And
that. I think there's also an anime for it. Might be.
dedicated video RAM 2 gigabytes. Of course I don't have that. Nope. Oh, since it's an Intel Core i3 minimum.
I just realized we've been like for like past 10-20 minutes on these like male characters. We keep
I know,
going back
right?
and
We
forth.
have forgotten about the female character. So which
Oh
one
my
is
god. I go back to like the whole like I don't think I can choose one. But if I want to go with sort of like, I guess you could say a joke, it's Aqua from Konosuba is not exactly the best. Like the anime makes a joke out of it. She's useless. She does. The only thing she can do is basically purify the undead, which comes in handy like maybe once, twice. But the rest of the time she's like, Kazuma, this, and that. I don't wanna go fighting, but I don't wanna. It's just constantly complaining from her, and I'm just like, can you please just stay quiet for like a little bit? And it's funny because she's like one of the cuter girls in the group, but she's the most useless. I mean, sometimes I find her annoying. No real hate towards her. I still think she's a funny character, but it's just like, that's all you are. You're a comic relief that goes a bit too overboard sometimes. You're literally useless. I mean, you could arguably say that all of them are relatively useless. You got one that can... Megumin can only use explosion magic, which drains her after one use. You got Darkness, who's supposed to be a knight, but she can't hit anything.
I get it.
And she's very masochistic.
Ew.
She loves getting hit.
Violence.
And then you have Kazuma, who's basically a scumbag. Pervert. And he's not that good at anything either, so it's just like, okay, well, there you go. But like, I just can't stand Aqua sometimes. Other female characters that I like least, I can't think of any at the top of my head. Just Aqua for now. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I like her. It's not. Again, she's in the like section, but like probably the lowest of the like section.
Exactly. That's why we don't really hate anybody, but there's some characters out there that we don't really care about.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have one female character that I could say like, well, I don't like you, or I like this. I'm not sure. I don't think I have an answer for that. That's it. That's my answer.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I-
Simple and to the point. There's no. I mean, because at the end of the day, all characters are great. You may have someone that's just a big bum or like very annoying, but like at the end of the day, you just sort of just sort of don't think about them too much because you're too focused on the other good characters in the show.
Well, I mean, if we go to that, there's a character in Akame ga Kill, which is basically her imperial arms is a damn little dog that becomes a beast and stuff. Like, I found her, she has like a double. It's not a double personality, but it's like a double standards because her justice is what she thinks is right. What they made her think is right, and then, but she's a bloody murderer, like a murderer, like oh yeah, I'm gonna implement justice on you, so I'm gonna chop you into pieces and fry you and give it to you, and give it to my dog as food. So that's her joke.
Interesting.
Yeah, like her attitude. I don't know. I found people that they do that. You know, justice is that you have to die. Fine, but this one is like, no, I'm gonna just murder you, squeeze you, and then my dog is gonna eat you because that is justice.
The dog is justice.
Right? And basically that's I don't know. I guess it's weird. But
You
if
know what
you're
I
gonna
just
put it
realized?
like
I
this,
can't believe we didn't talk about Mineta. That's least
I
like.
like him, but I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's
mean-
exactly how I feel. I'm like, you're a big pervert
Come on,
sometimes, but
it's-
you have had your moments.
What I'm saying is that he is the character that you like the less, but
You like him.
like what he does is so like if he wasn't there, then the story wouldn't have that little touch
Yeah.
because I'm gonna fight all of you with my sticky balls. Like
That's funny.
because everybody exactly. You wouldn't be able to make a pun without a character like that. You wouldn't be able to make those jokes without a character like that. And then you know that is a double sense. Like it's a subliminal message, but you can't really pinpoint it because his balls are on his head and they're
Yeah.
sticky depending on how emotional he is. So that's exactly what I mean. Like I don't really like him because he's in a diaper.
He's a disgrace to all mankind, but
He's still in a
funny.
diaper. Well, don't get me wrong. A lot of us are perverts, but
Yeah.
he's still in a diaper. It's like his custom, his hero suit is so. I don't know.
He still manages to do good things. It's like,
No,
Wow.
don't get me wrong. Yeah, Great Brush is a great attack, and
In
he
the
actually defeated Midnight,
yeah, and in the movie, he had a big moment in the movie.
right?
I mean, could have been anybody else, but I'm glad that he got a good moment. So when I see a good Mineta moment, I'm like, yes, Mineta, prove them who you can be.
Exactly. It's just that again.
Doesn't
I
happen
think
often.
like the character itself is what I hate, not the stuff he does or
Yeah.
whatever. Because again,
It's
if
what
it
he
wasn't there, then
represents,
you wouldn't.
not what he does.
It's like basically another character that is like that you don't really see a point on the character being there, but when they come up to the table like the invisible girl,
Oh,
like
yeah.
oh my god, I was naked, don't look at me.
When,
Like-
when the teacher actually touched her breast, like you pervert! Like, wait, I didn't
Wait,
I'm sorry, wait, you're invisible. What am I supposed to do?
So or like when they're sleeping on camp in the with the pussy
Yeah.
wild pussycats, that she is completely naked, like her bed is just like you're like
Oh yeah, I just noticed
she is
that.
naked. There's nothing in there but the silhouette and the blanket. So it's like the character is kind of useless if you see the character itself, but when it's applied to the story, and this is why I think Horikoshi is like going forward because he applied so much stuff. He knows how to put those characters in good use.
Yeah, that's what makes him
So-
such a good like
Right?
writer. I'm gonna say
It is. It is.
He puts every single one of his characters under some kind of use. Even the minor ones. You get characters like Nina every now and then, like actually doing something cool.
I know. When she was like squeezing the
The
acid,
acid.
and yeah, I was, and then she would like
Kamehameha.
like Kamehameha acid.
Yeah.
That's not a pun. I know I'm not
And then
funny.
she shows up in the tournament and actually like gets some stuff done with everybody else.
And then she kind of puts, twists her finger so like it makes her like go different directions.
Yeah.
Again, it to me, it's the same thing as when I saw Bakugo at the beginning. Oh, you got explosion, but then Bakugo can do all this, and I'm like, wow.
Aoyama's moment in the third season, which I love. It's the one turning point that made me respect him
Right?
as a character.
Exactly.
I saw that and I'm like,
And
you do, man. You go. I'm rooting for him.
and I can't wait to see like more of them. Me as a manga reader, I know that it's gonna take time because right now they're focusing in a lot of stuff. But is I think we mentioned it in a previous episode, maybe in one or two. But Medio Togata,
His
Lemillion,
his ability.
it's like
awesome.
that quirk
Is
has
so
to be
bad.
so hard to control.
Yeah, like it's so bad for you because you can't even do C, but he makes it work. That is dedication and a good message.
And basically like crossing a wall, right? So you have to make sure that you can control every single like inch of your body that is crossing. It's like and then it's materializing in the other side while the other one is still disappearing. And little by little, it's like Come on, man. That's an overpowered character right off the bat.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you learn how
Like,
to use it. It's one of the
yeah,
things you have a lot of
it's
power, but it's not until you learn how to use it. Granted, we don't see him master it. We already see him with it,
I
but it's
know.
a good message, especially for the likes of Deku, which is what
Oh.
I'm thinking. I haven't read the manga.
Don't
That is going
worry.
to. I know for a fact from like all
Don't
the
worry.
trailers and everything.
He
we're
will
gonna
not
get to see.
disappoint you when he actually evolves his power.
Oh man, I'm so
To
excited
nothing.
to see Deku and Mirio. Like, I'm guessing that
You
that's what
didn't hear
season
me.
4 is gonna. I heard you. I heard you. When they seeing that, I'm guessing Deku and Mirio are gonna be working together in season 4 under the same guy for their work studies.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in the trailer and from what I've heard,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I'm
surely they
excited to
go.
see them like working together. Deku learning from Mirio. I'm guessing Mirio will learn from Deku a little bit too.
Well, you'll see. There's a lot of disappointment that comes up in season 4, or I
That's-
think, yeah, the arc. Now that takes me to the. I think I've said it, but my favorite villain overhaul. Man, I don't know why I like that guy so much.
It looks awesome.
His quirk
Damn.
is a beast. He's a beastie quirk. Anyways, so
My
let's
favorite
review a few characters, or you want to cut it here because we got almost an hour. Okay. Well, guys, we talked a
We're gonna
lot.
We'll start up next time with these characters. To
Yeah.
make it up.
So if you want, just think about Einzolgon,
Einzolgon.
Kirito
Everyone's favorite.
from. Okay, so Einzolgon from Overlord. Kirito from Sword Art Online. I know there's a lot of hate coming out there, but and
Hate and love.
Zeref or Zeref, which is from Fairy Tail. Zeref. This is everything. This is all for today. Episode 3 of Anime Realm. This was Kyrak.
And this was Jess.
Thank you for everything. See you next week.
Bye
Or
bye.